Hi everyone. Today we are going to understand about the conductive system of the heart. In the previous video we have already understood about how the impulse is generated in the SA node and why the impulse is generated only in the SA node and not in other myocytes of the heart. And now it will be the continuation of that video, that how the impulse is generated in the SA node travels through different pathways and finally leads to the contraction of the atria and the ventricles of the heart. Today we will also deal about what is AV nodal delay and how the AV nodal delay is advantageous for us. In a general nutshell, if we think that how the impulse is transmitted throughout the heart, then it will be like in the SA node, impulse is generated, then it will travels to AV node. From AV node, it will go to bundle of His. From bundle of His, impulse will travel to bundle branch, which will obviously be right and left. From the bundle branch, it will reach to the Purkinje fibers, and finally the ventricles will contract. So this is the nutshell. So before understanding this all pathway in detail, let's understand one common misconception about this conductive pathway. These yellow structures, whatever in this diagram, is not a nerve. They are not a nerve. Then what are they? They are the specialized or the modified cardiac myocytes itself. This SA node are the cluster of atrial myocytes. These AV nodes, this bundle branch, this Purkinje system, these all are actually the modified or the specialized cardiac myocytes. What is special in them? They contains higher number of the gap junction, and we all know that higher the number of the gap junction, more faster will be the conduction. Another special thing about this conductive pathway is that they are arranged in a continuous fashion. There is no any breach. They are not arranged in clusters in heart. So this makes the conduction system more efficient. Hope up to this we are clear. Now let's understand this whole pathway in detail. This impulse is being generated in the SA node. As I have already said that SA node is none other than the atrial myocytes itself. So this is also connected to other atrial myocytes. So as soon as the impulse is generated in the SA node, the right atria receives it first and the right atrium contracts. But we know that the right atrium and the left atrium should contract simultaneously. Contract right atrium and the left atrium simultaneously, there should be some connection in between the right atrium and the left atrium, so that the impulse generated in SA node can travel to the left atrium and both contract simultaneously. For that, the special channel is named as Bachmann channel, which is actually located in the anterior portion of the right atrium and originate from the SA node. So this is the Bachmann channel. So one mistake in this figure is that this Bachmann channel is shown to originate from the AV node. So it is actually mistaken here. We can clearly see this. The Bachmann bundle is being originated from around the SA node, not the AV node. So it is a little mistake here. Let's just correct this. So it should be actually like this. So this is a Bachmann bundle. As soon as the impulse generated in the SA node, it will travel to the left atrium. And just there is a gap of few milliseconds between the right atrial contraction and the left atrial contraction. We can grossly consider that both right atrium and the left atrium contract simultaneously. Blood in the right atrium will go into the right ventricle and the left atrium will go into the left ventricle. The impulse from the SN node will travel up to the AV node. So it will not directly jump to the AV node. There is a conduction pathway in between. We will understand about this conduction pathway. Let's fill the gap in between this SN node and the AV node. As soon as the impulse is generated in the SN node, right atrium will contract. Similarly, the another conductive pathway, it is the Bachmann bundle. Impulse will reach up to left atrium. Just few millisecond gap between them. Now the both right atrium and the left atrium will contract simultaneously. Now the impulse will travel from SN node to AV node, because we also need the contraction of the ventricles. Let's fill this gap from SN node to AV node. How the impulse is transmitted from this SN node to AV node? There are three conductive pathway in between them, and they are named as internodal pathway because they are connecting two nodes, SN node and AV node. This is the anterior internodal pathway. This is the middle internodal pathway, and this is the posterior internodal pathway. Located in the anterior wall of the right atrium, the lateral wall of the right atrium, and the posterior wall of the right atrium. And it nearly takes around 0.03 seconds for the impulse to reach from SN node to AV node. From SN node to AV node, there will be internodal pathway, which are anterior, middle, and posterior internodal pathway, and it nearly takes around 0.03 seconds. Now the impulse has reached up to AV node. Let's talk about AV nodal delay. Let's first understand that why delay is necessary in the AV node itself. So if we see in a normal heart, then the only connecting part of the atrium with the ventricles is the AV node. The impulse can travel only through the AV node in a normal heart, from the atrium to the ventricles. Because in between the atrium and the ventricles there lies fibrous tissue, atrioventricular fibrous tissue, and this will prohibit the conduction of the impulse from the atrium to the ventricles. This AV node is actually penetrating this fibrous tissue, so it can conduct the impulse. We can appreciate it from this figure. This is the atrioventricular fibrous tissue, and this is the AV node, which is just penetrating this portion of the atrioventricular fibrous tissue for the impulse conduction. So why AV nodal delay is necessary? Because just assume that the SN node fire the impulse and the atria contracts. At the same time, the ventricles also contract. Then both the atria and the ventricles are at the higher pressure system, and both will squeeze and contract and becomes narrow. So the blood in the atria will not fill the ventricles, and if the ventricles will not be filled sufficiently, then the cardiac output will be reduced and the body demand will not be fulfilled. Now just let's reverse the condition and let's have a brake system in the AV node, so that the impulse takes certain times to reach from the atria to the ventricles. In this time lapse between the atria and the ventricles, the atria will contract to the fullest and the ventricles is still relaxed. So the blood in the atria will be squeezed to the blood to the ventricles, and after some time the ventricles will contract and the blood will go to the general circulations and the lungs, depending upon the right and the left ventricles. So this is why the avinodal delay is necessary. Now let's understand that why avinodal delay occurs. Because in the avinodal cells, they have fewer number of the gap junction. Fewer number of the gap junctions will conduct the impulse slowly. So avinodal delay will occur. So how much avinodal delay will occur? So from the SA node to AV node, it will take around 0.03 seconds. Now this is the AV node. In AV node, the delay will occur around 0.09 seconds. And if we add this 0.03 seconds and 0.09 seconds, it will be 0.12 seconds till it reaches to this point. And we can see that these are the penetrating portion or the penetrating fascicles of the AV node. In these penetrating fascicles, there occurs a delay of more 0.04 seconds. And if we add 0.04 seconds in 0.12 seconds, it will be around 0.16 seconds. So from the SA node up to this till the end of this AV node, it takes around 0.16 second. And how much delay will occur in the AV node itself is 0.16 second minus 0.03 second. That will be around 0.13 seconds. So now let's fill this gap. In the AV node, there occurs AV nodal delay, which is around 0.13 seconds. After adding this 0.09 seconds delay in this AV node and around 0.04 seconds delay in the penetrating portion, so it is around 0.13 seconds. So up to AV node we are clear. Now the impulse will travels from this AV node to this small portion which is called as the bundle of His. And from the bundle of His, the impulse will travel through these two branches which are called as right and the left bundle branch, and they are located subendocardially in the interventricular septum. And now these are the Purkinje fibers. The impulse reaches bundle of His, from bundle of His right to left bundle branch, and then to the Purkinje fibers. This Purkinje fiber is actually very fast conductive system, because as soon as the impulse reaches this Purkinje fibers, within 0.03 seconds it reaches to the end of these fibers, and this will help in the contraction of the ventricles. Let's understand this timing from this graph. As I've already said that from SA node to the AV node it will take around 0.03 seconds, and there occurs delay of around 0.13 seconds in the AV node. So it will be 0.16 seconds till it reaches this bundle branch and the Purkinje system. And from the Purkinje system to reach up to this terminal end, it will take just 0.03 seconds. If we add this, this will come to the 0.19 seconds. So till now the impulse has reached from SA node to the terminal portion of the Purkinje system. Now for the contraction of the ventricle, this impulse should travel to the ventricular myocytes. From this terminal end of the Purkinje system, the impulse will travel to the respective ventricular myocytes. We can see that there is a delay of around 0.03 seconds in the ventricular muscles fiber to contract. And why this delay has occurred? Because the ventricle muscle fibers are not arranged linearly or radially. They are arranged spirally. And this we can appreciate from this from this figure. Now let's understand that how this 0.03 seconds delay is occurring in the impulse conduction through the cardiac myocytes in the ventricles. Actually, the ventricular muscle fibers are not arranged radially, they are arranged in a spiral fashion. And there are two layers of the cardiac myocytes, the inner layer and the outer layer. And in between the inner and the outer layer, there is the fibrous septa. And this fibrous septa will not allow the impulse to travel from the inner side of the cardiac myocytes to the outer side of the cardiac myocytes. So actually the impulse will have to travel up to the edge and then take bend or angulate themselves to travel to the outer cardiac myocytes, and this will take a little time. From this figure we can appreciate that these are the outer spiral cardiac myocytes, and when we make cut over this region and just reflect it, then the figure will be like this. This is the outer portion or the outer cardiac myocytes, and the faded color are actually the inner spiral cardiac myocytes. And now you will think that why the heart muscles needs to be arranged in this spiral fashion. What is the advantage of this? The advantage of this spiral arrangement is that it will bring out the twisting motion of the heart. There will be the twisting contraction. Just assume that there is a wet cloth, and if we twist it, then there will be effective contraction of the fibers in the clothes. And in the similar fashion, if the heart muscles contract or the twist, then it will be more effective contraction and more blood will be ejected. Regarding this spiral muscles arrangement, it can be a next real topic to deal with, which we cannot discuss here right now. So just assume that this spiral arrangement of the cardiac myocytes gives the twisting action to the heart, and these twisting contractions will lead to more ejection fraction of the blood. So this way we have actually finished about the conductive system of the heart. Thank you.